Hello YouTube and welcome to another video review for the Fuji OEM channel. In this case I wanted to share with you a run that I have for the Metabones adapter. I've been using the adapter for more than a week now, and I found that there is a problem with some kind of lenses and they are not compatible right off the box. And the thing is that Metabones doesn't include a compatibility list on their site explaining, in this case, which OEM lenses are compatible with their adapter. It doesn't matter if it goes to Fuji or Olympus, Sony's, or any kind of other brand of cameras. The problem is with from this point of the adapter, the OEM in this case. What you will see is that I have here the 50mm that I reviewed last week. There's no problem using this lens. I have the 135mm. There's also no problem with this. But then you have I have the 24mm f2.8, and you cannot use this lens with the adapter right off the box. And that's a shame, because this lens was the lens that gave me sharper images, more contrast images than the other Zuiko lenses that I have when using the normal adapter. So I was really looking forward to use this wide-angle lens on the Fuji system and get a true 24mm field of view, which I didn't have with for example, the 18. So, what makes this incompatible with the adapter? You will see if you turn around the lens is that here, let me try to focus this. It has a little metal part that extends over the lens. This little metal part, if you try to mount it to the speed booster, it will hit the glass. So if you try to force it and push it, you will end up scratching the glass inside with this little metal part. So that's no good. So don't try to put it using force inside. So I tried to discover why this little metal part exists. I couldn't find any resource, any documentations from Zuiko online for what this little metal part exists. So I tried to mount it on the OEM that I have. It doesn't do anything in the original mount. So what I discovered is that if you take a look at the real lens element, let me try to focus again. Come on. There you go. So you can see that the real element, when it's focused at infinity, in the lens it's kind of concave. So if that little metal part didn't exist and I would just put the lens like this, the real element will hit the glass. I'm sorry, the real element will hit the surface that you put the lens on. So that's no good. So that's what I think why that metal part exists. But then if you take a look at the 50mm, it also has that metal part. And it's for the same, but in this case, the 50 being not that wide, the real element is not that concave. It's almost flat, but it has like a little curve. So if you put this on a surface like this, that little metal part prevents the real element from being scratched against the surface. But the thing is that in this case, the 51.4, this little part, it's wider than the glass inside of the Metabones adapter. So the metal, in this case, sits between the glass and the inside of the Metabones adapter, and there's no interference there. So that's no problem, and that's why you can use it right off the box. If you take a look at the 135mm, in this case, the real element is inside the body construction, and there's no metal. You can just put this like this, and there's no way you can scratch the glass inside. so no metal. Taking a look at a little piece that I have here. This is an 80 to 240 millimeters f4 lens for the OEM lenses, for the OEM lineup, and you can mount this on the adapter because again it doesn't have the metal part because it's a more telephoto lens. So this is compatible with the adapter, no problem. So what you can do to make it compatible, you will have to modify the lens by removing that little metal part. And you can do that by unscrewing 3 little screws here and removing this metal cap and ripping off this little metal part. And I'm going to do that because otherwise this lens will not be, I cannot use this lens with the adapter. And I much prefer taking that apart and using the lens that just leave the lens at home and not use it at all. So I'm going to be doing a new video next week where you can see how the process of removing that metal part in case you want to do modifications on your lenses to make it compatible with the adapter. The other thing that you have to be aware of is that the wider the lens, the more concave will be the real element. So you have to be careful that even if you remove the metal part, you have to check that the distance from here to the point of the concave lens will not be longer than the distance from the side here to the glass, to the middle part of the glass. I found online that distance is around 10.5 millimeters. So even though if you remove the metal part from your particular lens, be sure before mounting the lens that they will not be hitting glass to glass. Otherwise, you might scratch them, and that will be no good, neither for the lens nor for the speed booster. So again, guys, this is more like a rant for Metabones. They should have included a compatibility list for all their OEM lenses and their OEM mount. Otherwise, this is not a universal OEM mount. I mean, if you take a look at the macro lenses for the Zuiko lineup, yes, you know that this will not be compatible because those kind of lenses, the rear part extends far beyond this, so they are not. You can see that they are not compatible. But it will be nice if they release at least a warning saying, okay, you have to check this, you have to check that. The frequently asked questions, again, it says that some of the lenses are not compatible, but they don't specify much about which are and why they are not compatible. So I hope this video shows you and tells, and I can bring more information about this incompatibility and how you can prevent it. And so that's all, guys. Next video I'm going to be doing that modification in case you want to do that yourself, and I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you for watching this episode, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.